Action. We know it's not necessary, it's dangerous, it's loud, it's not even legal, but if you follow my tips on how to mod your car, you also know that it adds 25 horsepower per cylinder. So ladies and gentlemen, today we're gonna teach you how to install a flamethrower kit.
Let's jump into the red board to cover the basics. Air-fuel mixture gets into the chamber. The piston compresses the mix, while spark ignites the fuel, creating an explosion, and the gases exit through the exhaust. This is how the OEM system is wired. A battery powers the spark plug, and the spark plug ignites the fuel. The flamethrower kit extends the spark plug wire to a switch, so pretty much we are just making the wire longer. The switch connects to the spark plug that we're gonna put at the end of the exhaust. And this is how the current flows when the switch is not activated. It's working normal. But when you press the switch, the unburned fuel exits through the exhaust, and the spark plug at the end of the exhaust ignites as fuel. And it goes kaboom.
We're gonna be installing the flamethrower kit on this F550 Mustang, but we're gonna teach you how to do it on any car. And for any other car, you have to find the fuse that powers the spark plug. In case your car uses the same fuse for the spark, fuel pump, and gas pedal, you're fucked. You can't install the flamethrower kit. I'm sorry. You can skip to the next video though. We're gonna explain how we install the bumper fluid solenoid. You might be interested in that, but you're fucked. All right, so the first thing you wanna do is check that you have all the right components and that everything came in the box. Here we got some extra cable, coil pack, switch and electrical components, spark plug boots, the spark plugs itself. Make sure that you have all these, and then you're gonna be ready to start. So the first step, you're gonna wanna come to the trunk, remove this cover, you remove this one here. With a zip tie, place the coil pack in the middle, make sure that the cables are not tangled in the way. Close it right there. These two cables are gonna go through these holes. There's one on each side. They're gonna be connected to the spark plug in the exhaust. Here you have the ground. You're gonna drill through the chassis and leave it right here. And this one is your cable that's gonna go to the switch in the front of the car. This cable, we're gonna attach it to the red one, and it's gonna be going to the front of the car and to the switch. So here's a pro tip. When you go to peel the cover off, grab it from one end and peel it. So like that, you don't go like this and damage it from down here from the main connection. Once you're done clipping both cables, you're gonna route the cable all the way to the front of the car. So now it's time to hide the cables. You're gonna hide it behind the seats and the plastic panels. So now you're gonna disconnect the battery. Remember to take this out and always remove the positive first, always. Unfortunately, we couldn't remove the 3 rusty bolts that we have in here, but the original plan was to remove the box so that we can have access to the firewall right here. Next step, remove all the trims. I know it's gonna feel scary, but you just gotta pull it and it's gonna come out. Go ahead and remove this panel. So don't forget, you have a clip here that you have to remove. Pull it out, and this is gonna be the piece of panel that we're gonna use for the switch. Get a drill and a bit, and just drill right on the middle. In order to fit the switch, just remove the button and the first nut. Now introduce the switch from the back. Grab a pair of pliers and tighten the nut. Once you have the switch ready, we have to route the 3 cables to the switch. The black one comes from the back, and the red one goes to the fuse box and back. You may ask yourself, how do I bring the cables all the way to the fuse box? Well, this is the route all the way here, and the entrance point will be underneath the black rubber. Just push it, and you're gonna see it on the other side. Right next to the fuse box, you're gonna see a connection. On top, you're gonna see a blue and a purple cable. You're gonna tap into the purple cable. These 2 red cables are the ones coming from the switch. They're gonna be connected to the cable that we just mentioned. It doesn't matter what side, you can just connect them red with purple. So this is what the connection should look like. We recommend to put electrical tape, but that's up to you. Let's go over the route one more time. So here we got the 2 red cables going behind the fuse box, going behind the battery, inside the firewall, inside the glove box, and in the AC trim. Proceed to strip the wires. The black cable that comes from the back goes in the middle. The rest of the cables, they go on the sides. Now that you have your cables connected, the only way you have to check is turn on the car. And if you leave the button pressed, the car should turn off. Like so. Now, let's get onto the car. This is the cable that comes from the trunk and it's connected to the spark plug. The bigger you want the flames, the furthest back you have to put the spark plug. In this case, I like to put them in the tips. Like that, I can burn all the electric cars behind me at a red light. But I'll be a good citizen. I'll put them here. You can weld the nut that comes with the kit, or you can use a threading tool to thread the exhaust. With the ignition on, if you press the button, you should be able to see sparks in the back. In the odd case that this doesn't happen, go back to the electrical diagram and start testing for volts and resistance. Or swap the cables at the switch till it works. Now, let's scare the neighbors. Rev the engine close to the red line, press the button, and pump the gas. You should get flames. You should never have the button pressed if the engine is revving on the 2K RPM. If you want to do it with the car moving, just make sure not to depress the button while the gas is pressed. Warning, there are people that are going to tell you that it's fine. But if you have catalytic converters, heat and explosions will likely break or melt the cats, creating a lot of back pressure. This is exactly what happened to our editor's Mustang. Now the engine is resting in peace. But stay tuned for the build. Anyways, my name is Manny Walker, and if you have any questions, make sure to drop them down below or tag us on Instagram, Redtag Miami. I'll be personally answering all the questions you guys have.